Hi students, I hope all are safe in this pandemic situation. Stay safe. Our school decided to start online classes for 12th standard students for academic year. I am going to teach you 12th standard biology, first lesson reproduction in plants, fourth part male and female gametophytes. The last class we learned flowers consist of two major parts are called essential and non-essential valve. The non-essential valves are called calyx and corolla, and the essential valves are called andrecium and gynecium. So last class we learned development of uh, andrecium. Today we will learn developments of male gametophyte. Male gametophyte is formed by microspore. The microspore is the first cell of male gametophyte and is haploid. So what is haploid? N number of chromosome because male gametes, female gametes fuse to form zygote to a number. That's why the male and female gamete. Male gamete is called the sperm cell, female gamete is called the egg. Both are haploidy and fused together diploidy. So this male gametophyte complete developments inside the anther is given. The developments of male gametophyte take place while they are still in the microsporangium or anther. Then this microsporangium and the development of a microspore dispersed through by wind action or any other agents or cell pollination happen for here. Whenever this microsporangium or microspore fall on female reproductive parts are called gynecium. Gynecium consists of stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is act as a platform like structures. It's a landing platform for pollen grains. And this stigma collected number of pollen grains through by any other action, and immediately stigmatic surface secreted a watery fluid. With the help of this watery fluid, the pollen grains nucleus divide to form vegetative and generative nucleus, two nucleus. Okay, usually the pollen grains or the microspore nucleus is prominent, large in size, and this nucleus going to divide vegetative and generative nucleus. It depends upon the size wise. Vegetative nucleus is irregular and unequal division. It is given a wall is laid around the generative nucleus, resulting in the formation of two unequal cell. So one larger vegetative and smaller generative. A large irregular nucleus bearing with abundant, because this vegetative nucleus larger irregularly because it carry abundant food reserve material provide with the generative nucleus, because generative nucleus is important part to develop to male gametes or sperm cell. Some of the plants normally 40% and 60% and 40% of plants such as for endosperm producing plants, mostly called monocot plants, the generative nucleus divided two unequal gametes. So three nucleated condition here is given, three-celled stage because two male gametes and one tube nucleus. So those plants producing endosperm, remaining 60% of angiosperm pollen is liberated in two-celled stage. Two-celled stage, it consists of one male gametes and one tube nucleus. So it's a two-celled stage. The growth of male gametophyte occurs only in the pollen reaches the right stigma. Right stigma. Then We learned already pollen grains consist of two wall layer, outer exine, inner intine layer, and outer exine is a spinose layer, inner intine layer is smooth layer, and this intine layer during pollen germination development of a pollen tube through the germ pore. In case the pollen is liberated, two-celled stage the generator. So here is given the picture given for here. This is called the pollen tube, and pollen tube will be germinated with the help of an tube nucleus and developments of an three gametes, two male gametes and one tube nucleus. So this is development of a pollen tube. Two-celled stage generative cells divide into pollen into two male cells are called a sperm cell after reaching stigma in the pollen tube before reaching the embryo sac. So before reaching embryo sac, interns carry two male gametes. So these two male gametes, their good role for here fertilization. Female reproductive part, gynoecium. Gynoecium represents the female reproductive part of the flower. This innermost wall at last layer of flower, and the gynoecium consists of three main parts are called broader ovary, narrow style, and platform like part of stigma. Stigma, very good role for here, lodging and collecting pollen grains, completely male gametophyte. Then gynoecium is made up of one or more pistil. It is commonly called ovule or corpus. So four names given: male female gametophyte, pistil, ovule, or carpel. So the word pistil refers to the ovary, style, and stigma, three parts of an gynoecium. Pistil is divided to form carpel. We know carpel or pistil. The word ovary represents a part that contains the ovules. So inside the ovary consists of an ovule. The ovule will be arranged in different pattern. We learned already placentation. What are the type of placentation? Axial placentation, basal placentation, marginal placentation, and parietal placentation. Then stigma serve as landing platform for pollen grains. We learned already the style is an elongated slender part beneath the stigma. The basal swollen part of the pistil is the ovary. The ovules are present inside the ovary cavity are called the locules. All the ovules are located inside the ovary cavity, long space. You see the picture, we know. The picture is there here. Is an ovule presence inside the ovary. The gynoecium we know for here this pistil. Then the ovules or megasporangium arise from the placenta. So we learned placenta. Then number of ovules and ovary may be one or many. So usually depends upon the number of an ovule. They are divided to unique monocarpellary, bicarpellary, tricarpellary, tetracarpellary, pentacarpellary, and multicarpellary. So unicarpellary means only one carpel. Example: paddy, rice plant, wheat, and mango. We know for good example for mango, the mango fruit contains only one seed. It is called a monocarpellary. Some of the lands many carpellary is called a multicarpellary. Example: papaya fruit, watermelon consists of. You cut that watermelon. We will find out lot of seed arise in their fruit. Then orchids is one of the orchid plants, rare plants. So this is an introduction. Then go to structure of an ovule. Structure of ovule, commonly called megasporangium, is an female gametophyte. Ovule, the down is given for picture. This is an ovule. Ovule different shape of in different plant. Ovule consists of the first part is called stalk of the ovule is called a funicle, and the entire ovule around us and wall layer is called indictments. So 1 and 2. So first indictments, some of the plants only one indictments presence of those plant is called unitechnic. Some of the plants presence of two indictments, outer and inner indictments is called bitechnic. So unitechnic, bitechnic, two more question. Define unitechnic indictments and bitechnic. So unitechnic means only one indictments, and some of the plants have two indictments called two layered indictments. So the ovule is covered by inner indictments. Indictments is covering layer, and this indictments around us entire ovule, but they leave in small spaces called micropyle. The terms given for here. So around us entire ovule with the help of an indictments, and this indictments leave one small space called micropyle. Micropyle is allow the pollen tube and send two male gametes inside the embryo sac. Okay. Then yes, so indictments. Then a mature ovule consists of a stalk and a body. The stalk of the stalk or the funicle then is present at the base and attached to the ovule to the placenta. The point attached of a funicle of the body or the ovule is known as hilum. So what is hilum? Hilum is represents in between the part of an ovule, funicle and body. This part is called a funicle. Then here this attachments of an funicle and the body of an ovule is called a hilum. This part is called a hilum. It's labeled here hilum part. Hilum means joining points between funicle and body of the ovule is called a hilum. Then in an inverted ovule, the funicle is attinated. That means joined to the body of an ovule, forming a ridge called raphe. So raphe means ridge. Attinating part of an ovule body is called raphe. Then inside the ovule consists of an nucellar tissue. Here is therefore here amount of a nucellar tissue, and this tissue sometimes only one layered is come for here tenucleated. Here is given a single layer of nucellar tissue around it is called a tenucleated type. But some of the plants, the nucellar tissue is many layered. They are called crassinucleated. This is given for here. Normally this ovule have fairly large nucellus around its embryo sac. So inside the embryo sac or embryo sac consists of an 8 nucleus distributed. Upper 3 are called antipodal, lower 3 are called egg apparatus, middle 2 are called secondary nucleus. Then egg apparatus consists of 3 nucleated. At the middle one is called a nucleus, and either side presence of synergids. So this egg nucleus responsible to development of a seed during after fertilization. Then secondary nucleus, two polar nuclei join to a secondary nucleus and attract one more male gametes to complete for here triple fusion. Triple means 3, 2 secondary nucleus or polar nuclei join together one more male gametes to form secondary nucleus, and this secondary nucleus convert into endosperm tissue after triple fusion, those plants producing endosperm. Then opposite side of funicle is called chalaza. So this is called a funicle. Then opposite side is called chalaza. So here is given chalaza. Here is given the indictments and the funicle meet or merge is called chalaza. Sometimes asked what is chalaza? Funicle opposite surface is called a chalaza. This chalazal region will be usually tissue, parenchymal tissue like structure. Is compared to chalaza. Then Then hypostase and epistase. Hypostase, here given the term hypostase and epistase. Hypostase, new cellular tissue arise in between chalaza and embryonic sac. It is given for here a group of cells found at the base of ovule between chalaza and embryonic sac. So here in between the chalaza and embryonic sac, here arise many more amount of new cellular tissue are called hypostase. Epistase means the parenchymal tissue or nucellular tissue arise in between embryo sac and micropyle. Here, because embryo sac is just move forwardly, and here arise many more amount of nucellular tissues called epistase. So hypostase, epistase, quasi-nucellated, genuine-nucellated. What is indegments? Chalaza, unitekmic, bitekmic, funicle, and indegments. So this is come for here topic. Today topic. Today we learn pollen, germination, female gametophyte, structure of an ovule. I hope all are understood today topic.